Oh my God, the level of caffeination.
We're alive. We're alive. What's wrong? What?
Nothing.
I didn't say anything.
The music stopped itself.
This is Ari the Data Queen, joined by analyst old Matt Biscardi, Hazelnut Rawless, on today's weekly wrap-up. Today, Friday, International Day of Women.
Is that today?
That is today.
True. March 8th, yeah.
The SEC half-assed disclosure rules that it's 2 years in the making. It came out on Wednesday.
I like using half your ass over 2 years.
Grandparents, and teenagers are calling the representatives for the same exact reason.
Really?
Huh.
We'll find out what that is.
Okay.
Yep. And MacKenzie Scott in the headlines for other than giving away her billions.
I mean, kind of for giving away her billions.
Me too.
Yeah, it is.
She is getting attacked on International Women's Day.
Yeah, no
to
better
be
day
fair,
to
it was
do
a
that.
couple
really.
days before.
Fine. Women's History Month.
True.
But Damien, tell us the story of the week, please. Let's
really?
get started.
I like this.
We know what we're doing.
Jumping right in.
Our listeners know what to expect.
Not a lot of banter at Ari. Right to it. Come on, let's do it. Okay, I'll start with the one that you teased, the SEC climate disclosure rule.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you what's actually included, and then I'll tell you what's not included. I'll read this quickly because it's important to say once. So what's included? Material climate-related risks, right, as well as any activities to mitigate or adapt to those risks. So this is what the companies will be forced to disclose in their proxy statements: the costs of severe weather events and other natural conditions. Any climate-related targets or goals that are material to the business. Unfortunately, material. I've mentioned material now twice. It all hinges on this word material. Processes the company has for identifying and managing material climate-related risk, and finally, information about the board of directors' oversight of climate-related risk.
The board, baby. That's a good one.
That's where
that's
the people
nice.
disclosure is, right?
That's
Here's
good.
the problem.
I like that.
Here's what's not included. Scope 3 emissions, forget about it. You don't have to, don't worry about it.
I mean, we knew that wasn't going to be included.
Well, no, but it was in the original draft,
It was in the original draft.
It was in the original draft, but there isn't anybody who knows how to do it. And it was almost like...
True.
That is the corporate's excuse.
You know, when you're
silly
negotiating
excuse.
with like your children and you're like, like if you I will give you 5 chocolates if you clean up the whole house, knowing full well that you're going to settle for 4 chocolates or 3, that was like a negotiation.
What are you even talking about? I've never heard
saying.
this chocolate thing.
I don't know. It's I make the kids clean up the house without chocolate.
Here's potentially the biggest problem is that, for those Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions that the company are required to disclose, the companies themselves supposedly get to decide what they determine are material or not. So I don't... It sounds to me like... I'll try to be positive here on International Women's Day. Disclosure of climate risk is a step in the right direction.
Yes.
But I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. Yeah.
When they talk about revenue or whatever, how much money they made, and it's like this comes from their core business, and then this much doesn't come from their core business. Don't they get to set what their core business is?
Yeah, it's all them,
it's all
right, Matt?
So they're already doing this.
Yeah. And I think 40% of the S&P 500 is already doing this, and I think the companies that care will probably give you better disclosure than those that don't care.
Well, I think the Scope 3 emissions, so to anybody who's listening who doesn't know what these things are,
which is everybody.
Which is most people. Scope 1 and 2 are effectively the emissions that are released when you make a thing, you make a widget, and Scope 2 is like the electricity emissions used, right? Like there's okay, well, you had to use power to make the thing. How much emissions?
That's still Scope 1 and 2. Scope 3 is if you...
Right.
I said that's Scope 1 and 2.
Okay.
Scope 3 is the use of the widget, right? So what gets left out in Scope 3 is actually I buy gas at a gas station, my car emits a ton, the gas company does not have to include the emissions in using the gas.
Or
right?
the car company.
The biggest benefactor of Scope 3 not being there is actually not oil and gas. It is financials. It's banks. because their emissions are almost zero as a bank. All you're doing is you have 15 computers and 7 guys named John who are trading stock and making loans. You don't have to. There's no way that you have to disclose the emissions of how you finance something. This is financed emissions are off the table according to this.
Banks rejoice.
So the banks are the biggest winners, but they're always the biggest winners, aren't they? Yeah. So it's not really that different.
Yeah, according to Grist summarizes these new disclosure rules by saying that the agency's new rule excludes 75% of companies' climate pollution. So again, hey, we're a quarter of the way there.
We'll take it.
It's something.
I'll take it.
Second story of the week. Labor unions end proxy fight at Starbucks after bargaining process. The Strategic Organizing Center withdraws nominees, citing Starbucks' new commitments to workers. Matt and I disagree on this one. Matt seems to think this is kind of that the SOC, the SEC sold out, but I don't see it this way. To me, this seems like a victory. But anyway, that happened at the beginning.
Whoever's operating the buzzer also agrees with me.
Luckily, I don't hear the buzzer because Riverside once again is failing. The third big story of the week, something we've talked about over and over and over, but this one seems like are we getting closer to this being resolved? The U.S. lawmakers vote 50-0. This is a bipartisan committee, Republicans and Democrats, to force sale of TikTok. Okay, this is the House Commerce Committee that voted yesterday to approve a bill that would force TikTok owner ByteDance to sell the company or lose access to the U.S. market.
Ooh.
That's pretty good.
What shocked me about this was 50-0. I didn't realize
they can all get behind hating China.
This is the thing, right? I guess China, yeah.
That's the thing. These shitbirds are voting for,
only want Mark Zuckerberg to run our lives.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
this is a vote for Zuckerberg having absolute control. That's correct.
I was going to say that, are the winners here Evan Spiegel at Snap, Zuckerberg at Facebook, and probably Elon at Twitter?
All of the above.
Yeah. That's the third story of the week. And finally, the fourth story of the week, one that applies to us directly. Nelson Peltz put out a white paper in his Disney proxy fight. And he said, first of all, he mentioned the word board 304 times. He mentioned director 99 times. And here's the quote that is the real takeaway. We believe the root cause of Disney's underperformance is poor oversight from a board that lacks focus, alignment, and accountability.
That's
so
right.
basically making our business case for us. Nelson Peltz, thank you very much. I'm a big fan of this.
His own business case to exist as an activist investor.
Okay, you can be negative.
On a board.
But
I'm not being negative. I'm saying this is also self-serving.
Sure, fine. But what he's saying, what we're saying, I'm self-serving constantly trying to drum up some business here, which is that the people on your board matter.
That's
the
what he's
board
saying.
Matters, people. So
That's right.
for all of those potential clients who've told us that they don't matter, grow up. That's all I'm going to say. Come on, grow up. Really, serious. So why are they paying them hundreds of thousands of dollars? Come on, grow up. Seriously.
Which gives us 4 options.
There's only one right answer, Matt, and it is my answer.
Wow. Well, can we summarize the options before we get the right answer, which are
go ahead.
Starbucks ends, the proxy fight ends at Starbucks, 50-0, force the sale of TikTok vote, SEC climate disclosure rule, and Tryon blames the board.
Yes.
I'm going to go with the proxy fight at Starbucks.
Oh, no. That's not the right answer.
I like that one. I sense a tie. I have to pick a tie, man.
The right answer is the SEC's climate disclosure rule. That is definitely that's the thing that actually
because it's been 2 years in the making.
Because it's something that it's the end of a 2-year odyssey. Look, the fact is that it may not change very much for the S&P 500 companies who are largely disclosing this kind of stuff to begin with, but it will change a lot for the other 1,500 U.S. publicly traded companies who have not even considered how much carbon.
You know what? The reason why I don't really care about this one is because California.
She doesn't care.
I care about it a little bit, but California and the EU are really leading the way on this. So those 1,500 U.S. companies that want to operate in the EU, that have businesses in the EU, they will have to do much more than whatever the SEC is telling them to do.
AutoZone is not worried about the EU. I'm sorry.
Wait, but that's true, right? Any company that operates in California or EU, they have a greater burden, right, than these rules?
California is being challenged right now, but yeah, they have a greater burden. So the SEC is just, not even leading from behind. They're just being dragged
That's
along.
true, but they passed it. That's the point. And
I will say this.
I get to read Hester Pierce's dissent. That is a win by itself.
I'll tease my prediction by saying that my positivity will probably end soon. But I'm going to agree with Matt that this is the story of the week, the SEC's climate disclosure.
Right.
We have been waiting for 2 years.
That's right.
But Ari, in my heart, I agree with you.
Right, because Starbucks, dude, come on.
In your heart.
I think that's a big deal, yeah. Because once again...
In your heart, you believe in.
Once again, I've said for years, Starbucks is the greatest company for a governance ESG analyst. They are the greatest. They always bring the news. They're just the best. They're the best.
You just like that they tell us their coffee choices, which
Come
brings
on.
us to
always something going on.
All right, moving on to Goodliest of the week, where you get the real important headlines this week. The stuff that matters.
Yeah.
JetBlue and Spirit end $3.8 billion merger agreement after losing antitrust suit.
Wait,
yeah.
This is your good list?
Wait, what? How is this the good list?
This is what I really liked about it.
Tell me why, Ari. Tell me why.
After this announcement, which happened earlier this week, even though the antitrust suit announcement came out a few weeks ago, but the merger agreement being dissolved happened this week. Immediately after, Spirit shares went down, but JetBlue went up, and it stayed up, and it's like they just shed their downer friend. They're like, oh, this is not going to happen anymore. This is great, JetBlue. Good for you.
I will say this, for those who fly, this does seem like a win for JetBlue customers, because JetBlue seems like okay. Like, I don't mind JetBlue, but Spirit is a
They've been getting worse, but now this is like they were determined to get worse.
The reason why the shares go up, though, isn't it because JetBlue just saved $3.8 billion? Like, now it's
by
their
not
money
buying a
to
dump.
spend. So, like,
well, now they have to pay them like $80 million for doing absolutely nothing. But I guess it's a lot less.
I don't feel good by this headline,
billions.
Ari. I got to tell you, I don't feel great about it. What else you got?
You want to fly on Spirit seats on your JetBlue plane?
I don't want to fly anywhere anymore. I think I'm done.
Whatever. I like this because fewer mergers on things, better for consumers. Better for consumers. You're a consumer, Damien.
Maybe. Yeah.
All right.
Keep
moving
going.
on. Same headline as before. U.S. lawmakers vote 50-0 TikTok. But what I really liked about this one is that staffers have been reporting that grandparents and teenagers are calling the offices of their representatives because they spend hours on TikTok, especially old people. They're calling saying, what else am I going to do? I'm not kidding.
No, that's not true.
That's what it's. Click on the link, go to the third paragraph, and that's what a staffer
paragraph to go to.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but ByteDance will create some illusionary sale, some fake sale.
Of course, but the teenagers and the grandparents don't know that. They're just scared of losing their TikTok.
Like the whole thing. The fact is the teenagers and the grandparents also don't know who owns Facebook and Instagram and Snap and Twitter, and they seem to not care that every social media property is a dictatorship. There's none that
I thought you were going to say an addiction.
And an addiction.
It is.
Yeah.
And TikTok is just like the current incarnation that everybody likes. And in 3 years, everyone's going to be like, TikTok was for like Gen Y. Like who even is on TikTok anymore? Yeah. And it'll be some new property by some white tech bro who owns it. Like, I don't understand.
As it should be. This is America.
Yeah, that's right. I don't understand like our obsession with TikTok because it's China.
And people don't want to lose
versus our lack of obsession with Mark Zuckerberg.
Right. Well, this bill still has to pass the House and the Senate and be signed into law. But people preemptively calling their representatives. I like that part.
All right. I don't feel great about that one either.
I don't feel
but go
good
ahead.
Of course you don't.
You've been on a roll the last few weeks, so I don't know what happened. I think
Are you kidding? You see the headlines. There's absolutely nothing
No.
this week.
That's true. There's nothing
What are you
good.
talking about? We played the good game on Tuesday, and your score was a 9 overall. Like, what are you
I would
talking
have said
about?
9. I would have said 10 for TikTok.
Really? Okay.
For this
All right.
scare of TikTok. Anyway, Boeing
I want them all to go away. I want all of it to go away, though, not just TikTok.
Boeing says annual employee bonuses will focus on safety. 10.
I don't care about that one either.
10.
I don't care about that one
See?
either.
10.
I don't know why I don't care about that.
You're always
I can't
talking
believe-
about putting money
How
where
does
your
Dave
mouth
Calhoun?
is.
How does Calhoun still have a job?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
I don't understand that. But under the new annual incentive plans, which covers executives, because they need extra bonuses, managers and employees, safety and quality metrics will now account for 60% of the payout at Boeing's commercial unit.
Wow.
Just at the
Which is really
commercial
pretty
unit. Okay.
Yeah, they actually specifically said that because the other 2 units, it's only going to be 25%.
They also don't have safety and accident problems at the military side where they actually do audits and they don't have
Where they
FDA
don't cut
capture
corners.
and cut corners and so it's a little bit better. I don't like any. Can I have no goodliest?
Yeah, I'm gonna Matt.
You gotta vote for something.
I was gonna announce, Matt, that whatever Matt says, I'm just gonna go with. I don't
No,
have any
you gotta
feeling
fight
here.
him.
I have no feelings.
I mean, I don't think that's a goodliest problem. That's just your own thing.
I'll vote first. I guess TikTok. I mean, crushing any social media is good, but it's not going to crush it. Nothing's going to happen of this is the problem. They'll just ByteDance will play a game.
What about the grandparents and teenagers uniting?
Yeah, what about them?
Or Elon Musk will figure out how to get richer. I don't know.
Grandparents and teenagers uniting like Voltron is really what you're
That's my
voting
vote.
on.
I'm just depressing
look,
Damien.
your options are here. The JetBlue's Spirit merger ends.
That's good.
50-0 for sale of TikTok vote.
That is great.
And Boeing says annual employee bonuses will focus on safety.
That's a little more.
I mean, what hasn't Boeing said? Boeing says a thing. Is
They
basically
haven't
what
said
that
they're
one
going to
is.
fire anyone on the
Calhoun.
board
Yeah.
or Calhoun.
Well, of course they're not going to fire the board. Calhoun picked the board, and the board loves
fire
Calhoun. So
he did lose a job.
I'm going to make a tie for Ari to force a choice here because I think these are all lame.
Okay. I
I'm gonna
already know what I'm voting for.
The one I'm going to vote for
I'll
is
go first.
JetBlue and Spirit
Oh,
and
that's
the
what I was voting
$3.8
for.
By the way,
billion
Ari.
merger.
That is the correct answer.
Yeah.
Can I just tell you?
man.
Can I tell you the actual correct answer? How about I'll just read this simple headline?
Fine.
France. I know you hate this. France
I just can't compete with France.
seals constitutional right to abortion on International Women's Day. How is that not your goodliest headline of the week?
I should have said Alabama protects whatever they
IVF.
said
Stop.
to protect.
Stop. Come on, a constitutional. Come on.
He's got a point.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
I'm just saying
that's
he's got a
good.
point.
However, it doesn't really have anything to do with
The merger
What we
with
do.
JetBlue and Spirit.
with the
with
uncomfortable
what we
seats at
do.
Spirit. Oh, stop! How
All
dare
right,
you?
moving on. Why don't we let Matt bring you down, Damien?
Yeah, because
Oh,
that
God.
didn't bring
Is it
you
Matt's
up, so
turn?
there's only me left. I've got 3 for you this week. Assholiest of the week.
Better than 4.
Number 1 is investors' valuation of proxy voting.
This is crazy to me. I'm glad you're covering this.
So there's a website that allows you to buy and sell votes on a proxy. Okay?
I mean, I can't. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised.
Because some investors care so little about voting their proxies that they don't want to have an opinion at all, but they might as well make 5 extra cents.
And yet, other investors care so much.
And other
Is that what they're
investors
worth?
care. So here is the reason this story is out there. The headline of the story: Disney shareholders are selling their proxy votes online because of the Disney Trian Blackwell's massive activist campaign. A share. This is the valuation model for proxy voting. This is why you're all. If you're an institutional investor or an investor really at all, you're a fucking asshole. The share of Disney is currently hovering at $118 a share-ish right now. Buying a vote at Disney is currently valued at a maximum of 20 cents per vote.
What do you mean a maximum? What is that?
Somebody put in a bid for 500,000 shares of votes for $100,000.
Wow.
But
so
the
it's like
other
a
bids are
GoFundMe,
way lower than that. Bids are lower than that.
So do they have to get 500,000 votes for this to go through? Like
they have
they're
to
waiting
get
for that to accrue?
500,000 shares worth,
Shares.
of owners willing to sell their vote. But no one knows what this website is, really.
Let's do it.
This is bizarre.
But the
Let's
point
give them
here
our
is
shares.
it means investors currently value a proxy vote at one of the biggest proxy contests in the last, 2 decades? At roughly 0.01% of the share price.
Someone just listed in the auction 2 votes, so they're going to get 40 cents.
Yeah,
Is that right?
They get 40
come on,
cents for that.
people. Just come on.
Come on,
just
Damien.
vote
You
your
know you
shares.
do it.
Current economic value
40 cents.
to shareholder right value is here's the multiple. Your economic, it's 590 to 1. That's your economic value to shareholder right value. And actually, it does very neatly describe why we shouldn't be shocked that 0.2% of directors get voted out globally. Because if
0.2%.
a vote was worth 20 cents each, I mean, like, what's the point? Like, why would you even bother with your vote? Like, it does not. It's pointless. It's worthless. So
weird.
Every investor who thinks that their vote is worth that little should just stop fucking invest. Don't vote it all. Just give free float. Every one of your shares, we'll vote them for you. We'll actually make a difference.
Well, that's a weird one. Who are
option-
the assholes there, by the way?
It's the investors valuing a proxy vote at 20 cents per vote.
Got it.
Number 2. It's just this story. Elon Musk is lashing out at MacKenzie Scott, Jeff Bezos' ex, for donating billions to charities for women and minorities. He said on Twitter, quote, "Super rich ex-wives who hate their former spouses should be listed among reasons that Western civilization died." Now the white male billionaires like Bill Ackman and Elon Musk are increasingly mad about how another billionaire is donating their money.
The only billionaire that they can be upset about, right? Because Bill Ackman's not going to say anything about Elon Musk, even though, the whole Jewish thing.
Yeah.
Is Bill Ackman part of this story?
No, he's not.
We're just going to bring him in.
But he corralled the other donors at Harvard to stop donating to Harvard when he thought of the DEI was bad at Harvard.
Listen,
I mean, now
it's bad.
What the hell?
Elon Musk is extra level horrible when he deletes his, because I guess he deleted this since.
Oh, did he really?
When he deletes his own post,
Yeah.
He knows how horrible of a wretched human being he is.
I mean, what a fucking asshole thing. The places she's been donating, she's been getting praise everywhere for the fact that not only is she donating tremendous amounts of money, where all these other fucking white billionaire blowhards are giving money to their own foundations and then giving it out in like $10 at a time, and spend $45 billion on Twitter instead. So not only is she giving out a tremendous amount of money, but she's giving it with no strings attached.
Yeah.
So she gave like $275 million to Planned Parenthood.
It's like
no strings attached. She's just like, do your mission, do your thing. That's why we're giving you the money. She's giving it to colleges, like historically black universities. I don't understand how you could be upset when just because she's not giving it to you like your favorite horse charity
to your space program.
In fact, in the article they talk about Musk is also charitable. The organizations he's given the most money to are space, AI, and one other thing.
White dude.
Is that charity?
Batteries, renewable energy.
Oh,
how is that?
I like that one.
How is that charity?
So he's basically investing his money, his charitable money, in his own businesses.
This is his own hobby. This is a hobby thing.
So shut up.
And
just
his likes
shut
and dislikes.
up about what MacKenzie Scott is doing.
This is the only story you really needed, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, there's one more.
I mean, this is the worst. This is one of the worst I've heard. I can't believe he keeps going lower, honestly.
This is one of the worst, like as a single individual, but I prefer this third one, which is the extended kissing the ass of conservative diaper babies at this point. Here's the headline. Proxy advisor ISS expands offerings for ESG skeptic clients. So they've added a proxy policy that you can choose now called ESG skeptic. ESG skeptic, the only thing it does is it says it's largely going to vote with management on everything, and only they've capped the amount of shareholder proposals that they'll vote for to 5%, right? They won't vote for more than 5% of shareholder proposals. So it's just a vote yes on it, like vote whatever management says, vote that way. With the exception of like occasionally it'll be like a dual class structure and you're like, well, it'd be nice to be single class, but we'll lose that one anyway, right? Like,
yeah. That seems very woke to get rid of dual class.
So what they're saying is like, we offer something for all of our clients, right? Like, great, that's great. I don't care about that, except that here's who they're doing it with. ISS partnered with a group called Boyer Research, who they met on LinkedIn because Jerry Boyer, who owns Boyer Research, criticized ISS for being woke. So
wait, we criticize ISS all the time. How come we're not getting a contract?
Boyer Research has 56 followers.
What?
56. Even Free Float has more than that.
Are you serious? This
No,
is real? This is real
all
life?
real. Jerry Boyer, the CEO, has 4,500 followers. Like, I have just about 4,000. So it's not exactly like this guy is like an influencer, right? Jerry Boyer actually, this is his corporate governance bona fides. He was a small business accountant for a year or two and then got a theology degree, wrote a book called The Maker versus the Takers, What Jesus Really Said About Social Justice and Economics.
Damien, you have to write a book about Jesus.
His website is straight out of 1998. It's got 4 links and it's just text. There's no data. In fact, he's just a fat mouth. The only thing he has is Jesus. That's what he's got. Meanwhile, Free Float has 220,000 directors in our database, power, performance, 30 performance KPIs. And there's no director meritocracy policy. There's no ISS reaching out to us saying like, oh, we actually want to do real research. This is purely an ass kiss to conservatives. There is nothing else about this. Isn't about like diversification of clients. I think they don't expect any clients to actually use this because they signed up with a guy who has 56 followers to his firm and doesn't have any data. So what exactly are you achieving here, ISS? Except fucking...
They're playing defense. That's all they're doing, right?
Defense? This is just like... This isn't even
they're
covering your ass.
See,
they're trying to appease people who are coming after them.
If our name was Alt Street, we would have had this.
I think you're right.
Oh, yeah, you are right. But... This is like the only reason why you would do this is so it looks like you are expanding your offerings to be more conservative friendly, except that they already have an offering called board alignment. Like that just votes with whatever the board says. What are we doing?
Let's be honest. BlackRock, Vanguard, they're already ESG skeptics. I mean, they basically vote for management all the time anyway. I mean, what are you talking about?
We just covered that 0.2% of directors get voted out, and only the top 100 firms in the United States actually have shareholder proposals to begin with. Like, how many? What are we doing here? And ISS,
nothing. That's what we're doing.
You know what you just incentivized me to do? I'm going to @ every single post on LinkedIn about how you're fucking full of shit. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend the rest of my life telling you that you're an asshole because I have data. I have real data, not
what
fake,
surprises me,
not Jesus.
What surprises me most about this is that ISS is now owned by a German company, Belgium,
Deutsche Börse, I think.
No.
Right. So why are they getting involved with it? Why are they playing defense against Republicans in the U.S.? Why do they care?
Because they're idiots. They're assholes. All right, so those are your 3 options.
All right.
The valuation of proxy votes at 20 cents a vote.
Care about that one.
590 to 1. Elon Musk lashing out at MacKenzie Scott and kissing diaper baby conservative asses at ISS ESG skeptic policy.
I'm going to go first, Damien.
Of course you are.
Because I know you guys are going to align, and I'm not going to align with you. But
no, you don't know what I'm going to say.
I think I know what you're going to say. But I'm going to pick The super rich ex-wives who hate their former spouse line.
Unfortunately,
everything about it just irks me. As if that is all she is, a super rich ex-wife. I think it's the ex-wife thing. Because hell yeah, she's super rich.
I shouldn't have chose that one. That one's just triggering.
Anyway.
Unfortunately, Ari, I agree with you.
Oh, you're both wrong. The answer was the one where we have a policy that you vote on because of all of our data.
That's what I thought.
I want some drama here, but I just think that Elon Musk has so much power and so much influence with his words.
But he deleted it because she's also a billionaire. So
but he has left up a bunch of stuff around it that is supporting his hate of her and her ability to donate. So it's like, I don't know. I want to disagree with you, Ari, but I can't. I just can't. I mean, if you're just talking pure asshole, ISS. Look, Matt. I mean, I don't really care about the Disney shareholders selling their shares, but your last two are. I mean, they're so good that how do you choose, right? I mean.
Well, we chose wrong according to Matt.
ESG skeptic. I mean, what is this game you're even playing?
Why ESG?
It is like this. It is like the most. Yeah, it is the most anti-intellectual, stupid. It's just like you're playing with like blocks now. You're a child. You're a big child.
It's basically I am a skeptic in data. Like I'm a skeptic in like don't give me any new data. I don't like it.
But why
are
we rewarding? Since when has our society rewarded skeptics in general? What are we doing in America? Why are we rewarding skeptics all of a sudden?
Also, I think that term has been taken over by people who are not actually skeptics.
Yeah, I don't.
But I'm just saying, like climate denialists.
Right, that's not a skeptic.
Equal rights denialists, like we're just like letting all the denialists like win these days.
Skepticism is good, but when you're a skeptic about a data set because you don't want to look at it, that's not skepticism.
Matt. I'm
theology.
I'm talking about skeptics who are trying to just hold back progress at any turn, whether it's bullshit about trying to get the meritocracy going again or whatever it is. Like that's the skeptic I'm talking about.
All right.
Going back to the
moving
1840s.
Oh, I forgot we added this. I didn't announce at the top of the show. We have a surprise for you, listeners.
Well, the surprise is that Jesse's not here. And
so we have
a new category.
It's called Headliniest.
Ooh. Okay.
David, I thought we were going to pick one. You picked
Well, I didn't know because no one responded to my pre-production note about this, and I didn't see anyone. So I had four that I really liked. So who cares? We can quickly read these headlines.
All right, go ahead.
All right, Damien's
and we'll
got
just pick
four,
the winner,
and then we've got one each.
So we're just going to vote on the best headline of the week. Just the headline.
Just the headline, else. No context.
My first one: climate change affects Northern Nevada.
I like that.
I don't know why, but I was fixated on that one all week. That's just so cute. I love that.
that one's a good one right out of the gate. Let's do a new one. Ready?
Doctors puzzled by man who got 217 COVID vaccines.
Yeah, that one.
I actually read that article.
That's a Hall of Fame headline.
Yeah, that's a good. It's fabulous and. Like
very puzzling.
It's funny because they studied the guy, and the guy like their results were he didn't get COVID. But
before that, they were like, "Can you get one more shot?"
Yeah, they did. He got like 216 by himself,
218?
And then they made him get the 217th while they were watching him.
They're like,
just to laugh
odd numbers only.
And they also like say in the study, do not do this. Just please don't do this. But no, he didn't get COVID.
But Damien's got two more.
This is for the West Hartford office. The Wi-Fi at Google's new Bayview office hasn't been working properly for months.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Okay, so it's not just us.
It's not just us. Comcast sucks there, too.
And finally, Sergey Brin, co-founder of Google, once hosted a bizarre baby shower where big-name guests wore oversized diapers and onesies.
Yeah, that's in Kara Swisher's new book.
That's weird.
All right, I have one because I was only supposed to do one, so I did one.
I don't care. And I was going to pick this one, so I'm glad you picked it.
Cinnamon products sold at Dollar General Family Dollar have elevated lead levels, FDA says.
Wow.
I mean, wouldn't you assume that anyway? Like, I think I saw lead in the ingredients. So I don't know why that's a surprise.
If it has a dollar in the name, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not eating
99-cent cinnamon is probably prone to lead. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you have, Ari?
Mine's not as good as you guys, but
No, you
Yum
don't know that.
China CEO, whose name I didn't grab, says consumers are growing more rational as rising costs cut dining budgets.
That's
I like this. Rational. Because, companies are not used to rational consumers.
Look, I'm going to vote
true.
right out of the gate.
Let's vote.
And that it's climate change affects Northern Nevada. That's that's the dumbest headline I've ever read.
Who even knew there was a Northern Nevada? Isn't it just like a canyon or something?
I like to think that somebody picked up that article in Northern Nevada and was like,
shocked.
What is this?
Us too? Better move to Southern Nevada.
I thought we were free of this.
I'm
Ari,
gonna
what's
go
your
with
vote?
217 COVID vaccines.
That's a good one, too. Damien, break the tie.
I gotta go with the one. I don't know why, but I was fixated on this all week, and that was Matt's choice. Climate change affects Northern Nevada. I don't know why. It just got me.
I love
and maybe this will be the breakthrough headline that finally gets America to understand why this is so important, this issue.
Yeah, maybe we just need to release that in every region. I could just picture like some local paper in Oklahoma. Climate change affects this town.
Who won the week?
Ooh,
Damien, you got a winner.
Who won in predictions?
What do you got?
Mine is easy because, first of all, she's been a winner for years. Matt detailed a lot of the money she's given away. But whenever Elon Musk calls you out, to me, you're a winner in my heart. But the winner to me is MacKenzie Scott for just I'll give you
being
200
rich.
I'll give you 275 million reasons, and that is the money given to Planned Parenthood with no strings attached. So, but anyway, when Elon hates you, you're a winner in my book.
All right, Scott. I got NVIDIA board members for the same reason, because they're super rich.
They are super rich, though.
They cash in stock.
Yeah, they should not be independent anymore.
At the $2 trillion
Once you cash in stock like this, you're no longer independent from the board, from the company.
After the 27% run up in price.
But Damien, the board members don't matter anyway. Remember?
That's true.
They definitely won. Are you kidding?
Choosing who gets to participate in the $2 trillion run up at NVIDIA, that vote is worth 1 to 529 value. So who cares? I really struggled because I wanted to choose the man who got the 217 COVID vaccine shots as a winner.
Yeah.
But then I thought, I'm not sure that is
winning for a while, though.
I don't know that that's winning. So I actually went with Pepsi. I think Pepsi's the winner. Look, the Doritos boycott, it brings into sharp focus the fact that it has nothing to do. They don't care. Like, you could be an actual rapist and you'd still buy Doritos. But if you're trans and anything else, it trumps everything, because they're only boycotting the fact that it was a trans influencer. Not that influencer kind of was like cool with rape. To me, I
distressing.
Pepsi, because they did the right thing, and they're going to get headlines even though they did the right thing with this boycott. So I picked Pepsi.
That's ridiculous.
Well, the good news, Matt, is that no one will make the connection that Pepsi owns Doritos.
That's
true. And then no one will know, who sits on the board and who the CEO is, because we don't do that.
That someone somewhere is drinking a Pepsi, eating Cheetos, saying, "I'm never going to have Doritos again."
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
We got what? Predictions?
Yeah, I have one.
This is the fastest show we've ever done.
I can't read
You're
it.
welcome, audience.
Good. I'll go first because mine's kind of boring and serious. But my prediction is that Republicans are going to sue, of course, the SEC and weaken the new climate disclosure rules even further.
Okay.
So that's what's going to happen. And while they're doing that, while the Republicans are suing the SEC, Larry Fink is going to go to a nice restaurant.
Wow. Oh, that's so nice.
Well, you ended up...
What does he care? He doesn't care anymore.
That was a downer.
He used to care about the climate, but now, he wants a sandwich.
I also have a prediction, but I can't remember
sandwich. What nice restaurant?
Somebody help me out. What's my prediction?
What she's really saying is I can't see the show notes.
Oh, right. This is a gossip column.
I'll give you a hint.
I forgot.
I'll give you a hint. It's about
a
900. It's about the 900-year-old founder at Fox.
Yes, Murdoch. He is engaged. His engagement made headlines again, and that's his second engagement in 1 year. Anyway.
Well, yeah.
I think he's going to get disengaged again.
Wow.
This is his second engagement to a different person.
Is it unengaged or disengaged?
I don't know.
Well,
I like
you know where you're probably wrong, Ari?
What?
Is that there's something nefarious going on here, because what I saw was like the daughter of a Russian oligarch. So there's something going on here.
Is there
I don't know
a dowry
what's
involved?
Ooh.
I don't know, but something
Oil
weird's
dowry.
happening over there with Fox News and Russia and everyone being against Ukraine. I don't know what's going on. Something weird.
All right, I'm gonna round this out with some music by saying that Vivek Ramaswamy,
Oh, Vivek.
who we haven't talked about in a
Vivek.
while on the
Vivek.
show.
Good. Thank
My
God.
prediction is that he's going to sue Jerry Boyer and Boyer Research for working with ISS to create a policy that is too woke. Because
Yeah,
they're
that's true.
still
It's too woke.
supporting 5% of shareholder proposals.
That's true.
That's basically communism.
No.
I never thought of it that way. You're right. It's too much.
It's
It's
way
too much for
What
Vivek.
are you doing?
He's going to write about it.
Boyer Research. I like that Boyer Research does no research. I like that. That's my favorite part of them. That is our show. That is Ari the Data Queen and Hazelnut Rollis. I am your analyst, Matt Mascardi. We are Free Float. Come back next week. We have a show on Tuesday where we're going to play Biz Nuggets. We got Biz Nuggets on Tuesday. On Thursday, I think we're doing the Disney Proxy Contest. Are we not? For Proxy Countdown show? I think we're on Disney next week.
Yeah, I think
believe
so.
We're going to drop all our Disney data. So it's going to be a data full show. And we'll be back again next Friday. Until then, goodbye.